of the tent. The Annex, as you can see, it's very big. It comes in this bag. Here's the whole Annex. I don't have the Annex floor inside the bag, but it's essentially this. It's also made of the same PVC material as the travel cover, and you can zip it to the bottom of the Annex. For the purpose of this video, I will not install the Annex floor because it's a bit, it does take some additional time and it's a bit messy. And we are using it on top of, we're just going to be placing it on top of pavement, so it's not necessary, but it's a great add-on if you want to keep everything inside your Annex dry and stuff. It's just an additional feature. So the first thing to do, there's a seat channel. It's gonna be a bit uncomfortable in my car to do it because I haven't placed, and I should have placed the tent a little bit towards the left side of the car, because we gotta start by installing it on this seat channel over here, where my finger is pointing. So you'll see, you lift up the tent, it's gonna go through there, so it's gonna be a bit complicated, but essentially you insert that seat channel over there, pull it all the way to the end just like you do with the travel cover. Very easy. And then you just gotta zip it here all around the tent, and you'll see how big it is. Once you zip it both sides, you gotta take this off. Not forever. You can still use it with the spring rod, because the Annex does have a space for the spring rod to go through, but initially you gotta take it out, zip it, and then place it back in. Okay, so as you can see here, you gotta install this in the seat channel. It's a bit complicated on my vehicle because the tent is not really placed to the outer side of the rack, which would make everything easier. So we gotta lift, someone's gonna help you push up the base of the tent, and then that way you can put it inside, and then all you gotta do is pull it from side to side. Once again, this is easier if someone's helping you, because it's a heavy Annex. So if someone's on the other side, it's gonna be easier to slide it all the way to the end. But as you can see, you can still do it on your own. And well, my rack does have these lights here, which complicate it. But once you've managed to pull it all the way to the end, and there you go, almost there. Okay, once you've managed to pull it kind of like all the way to the end here, you can start zipping it on this side. Okay, so now that it went all the way through the seat channel, you install the zipper like a common zipper. Over here there's the end of the zipper, and then all you gotta do is zip it all the way through. As I said before, you're gonna have to take off the spring rod, so you pull it out and continue zipping. And as I also said, the Annex here has, a special kind of like area for you to install the spring rod, so you can still put it in through the tent, and you open up here, and it's not disturbing the zipper anymore, and you just pull it inside. There you go, it's all installed. I'm just gonna take it off for the purpose of the video, and you just continue zipping all the way. You're gonna have to lift up the ladder a little bit. It's not a problem. As I said, the hinges of the Wanaka stainless steel, they're very strong, and they can hold the weight of just the ladder. So pull it upwards, put it inside, so that you can continue zipping. Okay, so here's the Annex. It's zipped. It's not fully installed now, but you can see pretty much kind of area that it creates and how big it is. Now the tent includes stakes and these guide ropes. The idea would be to install and stake the Annex pretty much here. You would either stake it directly to the ground or use the guide ropes to stake it down. In this case, because we've got pavement, we can't really stake it down. So what I do, and what we have done in the past, you can get buckets that weigh a little bit. You can buy them at Home Depot and just put like some sand or some, stones or pebbles inside of them. Well, essentially, all you need to do, pass the rope through the corners, and then you can just go ahead and it'll stay in place. There's different ways of doing this. You can do it this way or other ways. For the purposes of the video, this is going to be the easiest solution. Just tie it to the bucket, make a good knot. Now, another important thing to keep in mind, you can also use the same guide ropes. Tie this part of the tent down, so you can just, with or without the annex, regardless, you can use them. And you just pass the rope down and you tie it to the ground, or you can stake it to the ground, or use the same buckets just for it not to, you know, because if there's a lot of wind, it's going to be normal for the overhang and the U-pole at the entrance of the tent to go up and down with the wind, even the rain fly. So you want to sometimes just tie it down, stake it down to the floor, or use a bucket, and it's going to stay in place. Okay, so there's still a lot of wind. As you can see, of course, it comes down from the annex and it pushes it up. But now we've kind of like used the buckets to kind of like, you know, keep it fixed on all points. We tied this down from here, which you can do, and it helps a lot. Same on the other side, it gives a lot of stability. I'll show you the inside. It does have 3 awning doors, and why do they call them awning doors? Well, simple. They open up 3 sides of the tent, and there's different options. As you can see, you can either roll them up, you can do the same for the mesh entrance doors. And just either roll them open or keep them like this. When you come inside, you'll see there's a ton of space in here. There's literally, I'm just gonna lie down for the purpose of the video. I'm 5'11", and you can see there's enough space, especially if you tie down properly, for 2 adults to sit down or even lie down, or even 1 adult if you prefer, or an adult and a kid, or your pets. Now, down here you can see there's the zipper for the floor. In this case, you might wonder, well, the car's a bit tall. It doesn't really matter, because the annex floor is so extensive and so big that even if it lifts up here towards the side, you can still use it. Like with my car, which is actually 82 inches tall, you can still use it. It's not a problem. It has a door that opens up to your vehicle, so you can access your vehicle once again. Right here, it also has a mesh, so it gives you different options. You can keep this open, roll it up here, whatever you want. You can keep it closed. And as I said, it also has 3 awning doors. Now I'm gonna show you why they call them 3 awning doors. You go, then we just zip it open. And the same goes with this one. The zippers, they're down here. You can open them from inside or outside. Zippers have 2 heads on both sides. And you open this up. Now, there's an option. These are huge doors, so you can see there's an option to either roll them up, or they come with poles to keep it up right and install them to the ground. So, okay, so now as you can see, I've installed 2 poles and used 2 large buckets. Once again, you can get similar ones in Home Depot. It's a bit of a strange installation we've got here at the outside of my garage, but you get Guana Equipment sends 1 of these buckets with 6 of these poles. They're telescopic poles, aluminum. You can see, you open, you close them, you can fix them, etc. And essentially, they're for you to open the 3 awning windows of the annex, which are on the 3 sides of the annex. And you open it up, they have a small hole, which you can find here, for you to pass the pole through, and then you just bring it downwards, you fix it, and you put it. Of course, it's going to be easier if you install this where there's not as much wind. If there's a lot of wind, I recommend you just roll the windows up. But if there's not as much wind, then you can install these and you'll get a lot of coverage, because it does cover all 3 sides So this door would also open, and you can do the same thing, and you can keep the meshes closed, you can keep them open, you can put the floor. And essentially this way they call it, you know, the rooftop tent camping setup, because it's literally like a setup. It's almost like a house. It's so big. Just imagine the Wanaka 72, how big everything is. You can just open the 3 awning doors of the annex, keep the annex with the floor, stake it properly to the ground. We just didn't do it here for the sake of the video, and because we're doing on pavement, but you can just, you know, fix it to the ground properly, put the floor, or not if you don't prefer to. This is a perfect changing room. You can change standing up with privacy. You can close all the doors and still, you know, change in there. You can have people sleeping inside of there. There's enough space. And in the past, I've even cooked a meal inside. There was a lot of rain. This was in the Overland Expo East in 2019. There was so much rain and wind that we just had to close ourselves inside the annex. We zipped everything up and we placed the table back there, and we started cooking a little bit. And we had a meal in there. It was 2 adults, you know, just cooking and sitting down over there. If there's no one inside the tent, then there's the possibility for you to create additional space. Just bring the ladder up, tie it all the way down there, and you'll have a lot of space for you to cook, sit down, have a few beers, whatnot, a meal, whatever, you know. So it does offer a lot of space. Just like the tent, the annex has YKK zippers, just like the tent, which is great, everywhere. So the zipper that zips to the top of the tent, the zipper that zips to the annex floor, that open these doors, it's YKK. 620D ripstop canvas, once again, which is the thickest, and it's completely waterproof. Another one of like the cool features that this tent has is this window over here, this plastic window. It allows a lot of light to come in, so, you know, even if you're inside the annex for any given reason, like there's gonna be light coming in, so you can be safe from the elements inside and still have light. You could still bring down the LED light strip and use it inside the annex if you're, you know, cooking at night or whatever. And I said, it's a very, very big setup. Once again, you can see here how spacious the annex is. And this is not even tied in properly, because if I wanted to actually do all the procedure properly, there's gonna be a lot more space. Easily, you know, yeah, I can bring it on outwards a lot more. And you know, it's a great tent for the whole family. This is the Wanaka 55, but if you get the Wanaka 64 and the Wanaka 72, there's gonna be more space up there for somebody to sleep inside. Easily 3 adults, even a kid. If you want to keep bags down here, you can just put the annex floor, and it's going to be completely dry, completely dust-proof, and even if you want pets or even more people to sleep inside. So yeah, these are some, just, you know, wanted to do a quick review on the Wanaka rooftop tent by One Equipment. I think it's one of the best soft shell rooftop tents out there. It comes at a great price, hard to beat. And there's many different types of tents. There's hard shell rooftop tents, soft shell rooftop tents, and I understand that everybody has their own preferences. Installing the annex, it does take some time. A soft shell rooftop tent, it takes more time to set up and take down than a hard shell rooftop tent. But, you know, they make up for their flaws, so to speak, or their differences, with additional space, a better price, more accessories for you to use. And if you're going to be camping in a place, and you're going to be staying there for a few days, then you can just set up the whole tent, the whole annex, the awning doors of the annex, and just create the whole rooftop tent setup. And it's going to be very enjoyable for your family, for your friends, for whoever's camping with you, because of the whole space that it offers. So yeah, this was the quick review. Once again, 4-season rooftop tent with one of the biggest extra large annexes in the market, which has a floor. It's completely waterproof, 620D polyester canvas, which is also not only one of the thickest in the market, it's also better against mold. If it was polycotton, it's probably going to be thicker, and but if it's very, very wet, and this was a tent, you know, designed for Costa Rican rainforest conditions, if it rains a lot, or if it even snows a lot, and you know, the canvas remains a little bit humid, and you store it that way, and if you don't, you know, dry it or ventilate it properly, there's always the risk of mold. But with polyester, it's not as high transport, let's say it's less than with polycotton. That's why they went ahead with the polyester canvas rather than polycotton. It does make a difference, and it gives you a little bit of a peace of mind. If you feel that you're going to be camping in winter, this will hold. I still recommend take a good sleeping bag with you. It makes the biggest differences of them all. And you can see that the inner insulation layer. As said, it comes with an LED light strip, the diamond plate aluminum base, which is, you know, probably one of the best in the market. The anti-condensation mat, the utility net below the base, the boot bags. Pretty much brings and offers everything. Okay, so then to remove the Annex, it's the exact same process that you use to install it. Just zip it from one side to the other, and then just remove it from the seat channel. Once it's removed, you can just fold it, place it back in the same travel bag that it brings, and that's pretty much it. So if you need, just go to our website, www.offroadtents.com and offroadtents.com.au. You can find it there for a great price, and whatever you need, just follow Off-Road Tents on YouTube, follow Off-Road Tents Official on Instagram, and Off-Road Tents on Pinterest. Thank you very much.